Hello again. Today we're going to do the living room, a living room that has a view of a golf course. So it's going to be imperative that we get the view outside the window. So we'll get started here in just a second. I'm going to show you around a little bit and show you how I plan to light this place up. So here's a view of the room that we're going to shoot. It's got a fireplace, some cabinets over here, and we've got the view out of the window, which is a golf course. So we're going to try to get that showing through the window as much as we can. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing is we got to position this so we can see out of the window, but yet still get most of the room here. I'm going to work on my composition a little bit here, getting everything straight. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to light up this room with my flash, and I'm going to concentrate on the room, not the view out of the window. If this was a smaller room, I could probably turn up my flash bright enough and expose for outside of the window, but we're going to do this in a two-part step. So I'm at 7.1 for an f-stop. ISO is at 320. And the reason I use 320 is it makes my flash a little bit more powerful, and there's really no grain at 320, so I'm not really worried about noise or anything like that. And the shutter speed shall vary. I will probably start, at about an 1/80th of a second. All right, so now my focus point will be on the window, so I'm going to select that as my focus point. And now I'm going to use a flash, and let's see how this goes. Okay, I've got this at 1/80th of a second. I'm going to have this at half power. And again, focusing on the window, pointing the flash straight up, right over the top of the camera. Okay, that will be shot number one. Looks a tad bright. Bring it back to a 4th power. Okay, looks fairly decent. Now, what I'm going to do for the window shot is it's at 1/80th of a second. I'm going to turn it to 1/160th of a second, which exposes for outside the window. Now I'm going to point the flash at the window so I can do my thing that I will show you in Photoshop to get that window pull. So I'm going to lighten up. I need to move a little bit more out of the way so we don't have the flash reflecting off the window. All right, so what I did there was I lit up all around the window, but exposed for outside of the window. Now let's go into Photoshop and I'll show you how we can quickly put this all together. All right, I have the photos loaded into Adobe RAW. This is the first photo. As you can see, the part over here to the left, it's overexposed a little bit. That I had too much flash on. When I took that second photo, it kind of calmed it down just a little bit. Third photo, I was trying to expose for outside the window, and I pointed the flash at it, but I got reflection back at me, so I moved. Here is the last photo where I moved to the side a little bit more to get the flash away from me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make some initial changes in Adobe RAW on these. I'm going to fix the white balance to make sure that all of these are correct before I start blending them together. So got the white balance dropper. I'm going to go over here to this far side, click there, changed a little bit, go to the next photo, do the same thing, go to the next photo. I'm not going to do it because now this is the outside photo. If anything, I'm going to warm that photo up outside just a little bit, even though I'm probably not going to use that photo. Here's that 4th photo. I'm going to turn up the temperature, and I'm looking outside the window right now. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is load these into Photoshop and take the best aspects of each one. See you there. All right, I have the photos loaded into Photoshop now. So I'm going to take the first photo, and I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to hit Command A or Control A if you're on a PC. So Command A to select the photo. Command C to copy it, go to the next picture, Command V to paste it on there. Now I'm going to go over here and make a layer. I'm going to go over here to the brush tool. I'm going to paint with black. Opacity, I'm going to knock that down just so I can get more artistic with it. I'll just hit 38 just because that's close enough. And where it's bright here, I'm going to paint in the photo underneath it, where it was a little darker there, where it was the correct exposure. But I don't want to do it in this far area because if I toggle back and forth, you see it's a little bit dark if I do that. So I only want to use this side of the other photo. So blend that in to where it looks pretty good. All right, go over here to the right. I'm going to right click, flatten image, then Command A, Command C, next picture, Command V. Am I even going to use this one? Nope, I'm not even going to use that one. Flatten. All right, let's go to the last one. This is the one where I didn't get the light glare off the window. So Command A, Command C, go over here to Command V. I'm going to go over here to the right where I'm going to do my window pull action. But instead of doing that action, I'm going to show you how to do it from scratch, since if you don't know how to do this, it wouldn't do you much good for me just to run the action. So what you're going to do is you're going to put the layer that you want, that you have the correct exposure out of the window, you want that layer on top. I'm going to hit Option on a Mac, I think it's Alt on a PC, and the mask, which would make the mask black. Next, I'm going to go over here and change this from normal to darken. All right, and now I'm going to go over here, get my brush tool, and I'm going to paint with white over this window. And I'm going to make the opacity 100. All right, and what it's doing is it's only taking the darkest parts. It's ignoring all the bright spots. That's why I pointed the flash at the window to brighten up all around the window on the inside, but I'm exposing for the outside. So there we go. Now that that's done, flatten image. All right, so from here, I'm going to go back into Adobe Raw Adobe Raw real quick and straighten it up, and we should be close to done. All right, in Adobe Raw, what I want to do is I want to straighten it out, which I just did. I did went to geometry and clicked on auto. It usually does a fairly good job. If I don't use that one, I use vertical, so it's usually one of the two. And the white balance is good. Now, just artistically speaking, I'm going to bring down the exposure just a tad more right over here, but not by much. Well, I had an update on Adobe, so I'm having to redo everything. But, yep, let me tone down this side over here. And there we go. Let me open that up in Photoshop one more time. And there we go. Quick and easy.